Hey everybody, welcome back to my craft room. So after my last video, I was really inspired to continue on my crochet journey. So I went back out to Kmart and I purchased this. This is the Crochet Granny Square scarf, and I am looking forward to crocheting one of these and wearing it for winter. It is July here in Australia. It is so cold. We had ice on our car this morning, and yeah, I'm all rugged up. I've got my beanie, I've got my gloves, and I thought to myself, I would love it if I could wear a crochet granny square beanie, a crochet granny square thumbless or fingerless gloves, and a crochet granny square scarf. Like, I want to go all out granny square fashion. This project feels like a gentle next step, and honestly, I'm really excited. So if you're interested in finding out what's inside this kit and how easy the granny squares are to crochet, what's working, what's not, how I approach the instructions and how easy they are to read or not. And I'm looking forward to learning a little bit about crochet and myself along the way. So if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, grab a cup and join me as I crochet this granny square scarf. So let's unbox this little kit. So this comes off just like this, and we are going to get into this. Okie dokie. Okay, let's move this out the way. This is what we get. So we've got the instruction manual. We've got, oh, this is interesting. I have never seen. So we've got a 3mm hook and a 4mm hook, dual purpose. The instructions. We have got 2 purple, 1 teal, 1 pink, 1 mustard, and 1 pack of plastic needle and stitch markers. And that's pretty much what it says here. So it says the set includes 4 colors of cotton thread, 1 crochet hook, 1 plastic needle, 4 ring stitch markers, and instructions. So yep, everything is here. Looks good. I like the color palette. So you've got the stitches used: chain, slip stitch, single crochet, an increase crochet, a decrease crochet, a double crochet, and a half double crochet. So this tells me that this set of instructions is a US terminology. So in US terminology, they start off with a single crochet, and then they go into a double crochet, and then a triple, or it's usually called a treble crochet. Okay, and this relates to the number of times you yarn over before you put it into the loop. So straight away from the previous kit, it was using UK terminology, and in this kit, it's using a US terminology. So that's the first thing that I see. So it gives you the instructions to do 1 square, and then you're going to make 12 in total, and then it's going to teach you to connect them. And yeah, okay. Looks easy enough. So for the first one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy the color combination that they've got here, the teal, which is what I'll be doing, and I'm just going to move this away to the side. Okay, so the other thing I've just noticed is they have given us a crochet hook that has 2 sizes, a 3 and a 4. The smaller your crochet hook is, the smaller your crochet square will be, and the larger, obviously, the larger hook, the larger the square will be. So the first thing you're going to have to determine is whether you want your crochet squares to be, you know, quite big or quite small. So for me, I am making a scarf. I don't want the scarf to be too thick around my neck. I mean, sometimes people do. People wear like these amazing cowls, but for me, I feel like I'd like a nice skinny granny square crochet. So I'm going to be using the 3mm, and straight off the bat, I'm just going to say that I don't like the feel of this. I hold my crochet hook like a pen, not as a, so some people hold it like this is holding it as a knife, and I hold it like this as a pen, and for me this straight edge is really strange. So what I'm going to do is, I know for my own ergonomic situation that I want to use my 3mm tulip crochet hook, so that is a personal choice that I'm going to make. And that's this one here. This is my 3mm tulip, and I really love this. It's kind of round here and then a little bit flat here, and then round kind of comes up near the throat, and so I feel like it's quite supportive to my fingers when I crochet. Okay, so looking at these instructions, I can tell straight away that they have missed a step. Any foundation step requires you to create, and this is a square, so any foundation square, any granny square requires you to have a foundation circle, and here they haven't even done a circle. I mean, they've talked about doing a magic circle, but they haven't told you to make it. So I'm going to start off by doing a round. So for round 1, I'm going to chain 3. I'm going to go back into the first stitch, do a slip stitch, and form a ring. Then what I'm going to do is for round 2, I'm going to stay with the same color. I'm going to go with this, with what they've written here. So I'm going to do 3 double crochet, chain 2 into the ring, because here they don't tell you where you're doing this. So you're going to go into the ring and you're going to do it 4 times. And I love how this time they do have a stitch count, so that's really good. So let's do that. So let's start with a chain. So I'm going to do a slip knot. So over, bring it through your circle, grab a yarn, grab a loop, grab yarn, and you've made a slip stitch there, a slip knot. Then I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go into the first stitch that I did, put my crochet hook through, grab the yarn, pull it through, and pull it through. Okay, so now that I've finished round 1, I'm on round 2. We're going to do a 3 double crochet. So a double crochet, remember, I'm now in, I have to tell my brain, I'm now doing the US term. A US term is you yarn over, then you put your needle or your hook through the little center ring, grab, yarn over, bring it back out. So you should, oh gosh, okay. So I have to be careful with this. I have to be careful with this yarn. It's also a little bit slippy. So I'm going to start again. Okay, so yarn over, go into the ring, grab, yarn over. I should have 3 on the loop. Also managing my little tail here. So yarn over, pull through 2. Oh gosh. Yep. Yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1 double crochet. So yarn over into the ring. One more time. Make sure you're always going in the same place. Yarn over, you have 3. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. That's the second. So you're starting to see it form here. So yarn over in here, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. So that's 3 double chains. Now chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to repeat that again. So 3 double crochet. So yarn over into the same, pull through, 2, 2. That's 1, 2, 3, chain 2. That's the second set. Just double checking here. Yeah, so you end on a chain 2. So 1, 2, and then what happens is you come up to this join here and you slip stitch into here. So that you should come up, this should be your starting. You've got a little ring there, and that just shows you that you didn't start with a magic circle. That just shows you that you started with a chain, and then you put the stitch in. You've got 3 pillars here, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets. Perfect. So let's fasten off here. So I'm going to do a little snip, and I'm going to pull this through. You're going to find that there are holes here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to do the sequence, the 3 double crochet 4 times. So let's grab a purple, into the corner, pull it through, and just secure it. Secure it. Okay, beautiful. Then 3 double crochets, so yarn over, into the corner here, pull through, that's 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and that has created a gorgeous little corner for you. Okay, so now we are going to continue that sequence all the way to the end, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. So I just finished my last one. I'm going to chain 2, then I'm going to come up to the end of this pillar, this first pillar, and I am going to find that stitch and then slip stitch in. There we go, gorgeous. All right, so there's my corners done. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're round 3, my round 4. They've got this instructions: 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and then in a separate brackets, 3 double crochet, 2 chain, 3 double crochet, 2 chain. So what this means in terms of this, so we already have established that from the first one, from the purple one, the 3 double crochet, 2 chain, 3 double crochet, 2 chain creates that corner. So you're gonna just remember that that pattern is the corner, and now we've got like these in the middle. Okay, so we've got 4 corners, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got 1 in each in between. So this pattern here, the 3 double crochet and 2 chain, will be for those middle parts. So let's see, I'll show you how we go. It's really hard here because if you were to start here on the corner, you would totally stuff up your project. So because I've written it this way, you have to start in the middle. That's a really important tip that they don't say. So I'm going to say here, this is in the middle, and then this was for the corners. Gosh. You know, it's really interesting how by omitting just a few things, like they just assume that you know. I would totally be lost if I didn't have a basic understanding, and really I am very basic, very beginner, but I know some things. All right, so slip knot in here. So 3 double crochets here, so you're going to yarn over into here, 1, 2, 3, then we're going to do a chain 2, and like we're right back here into the middle, into the corner. So you know your corners, so it is a 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, then it's a chain 2, 1, 2, a 3 double crochet, 1, 2, back in the middle, and the middle will be this, and then you've got the corner, middle corner, middle corner. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. The last one, 3, then I'm going to chain 2, then I'm going to find the first stitch at the top of the first double crochet, and I am going to slip, yarn, pull it through. Gorgeous. All right. So for the next one, we're going to use the mustard, and it's just so interesting how they've written it here. It's really confusing if someone didn't explain it to you. So that what they've done is they've said 3 double crochet, 2 chain, 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and then in the other sequence, which is what we know to be the corner sequence, is the 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, chain 2. So what this means is that you're going to do the same thing in each corner, as you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 corners, but then here they want you to do a 3 double crochet and then 2 chain, and then 3 double crochet and 2 chain in there. Okay, that's what that means. So that's for each row, and you're going to do that 4 times as well. So let's, and once again, it's really important where you start. Here you start at, so at the beginning of the row, don't start here, don't start at any of the corners. It's important because there's 3 double crochet, 2 chain here, and there's the 3 double crochet, 2 chain here. So start just after a corner. So insert your hook, grab a slip knot, here we go. And let's start our sequence. So double crochet, okay, so 3, 1, 2, 3, you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, head on over to the next one, 3 double crochets here, so 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, head over to the corner. All right, so 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, same corner, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to chain 2, and you're going to go back into the next 2. So continue that sequence, and I'll meet you at the end of this round. Chain 2, 1, 2, and this is going to lead me back to this very first stitch here. So I am going to slip a stitch here. Beautiful. I am going to cut, fasten off. Am I just double checking? Are we fastening? Yep, we're fastening off. Right. So pull that through. So once again, 1, 2, 3, we're going to make sure we're going to start here. 1, 2, 3 after a corner. So pull it through. We're going to do a slip knot, secure it, put it through, secure it, and then double crochet into here. So yeah, that's 1. That's 2. That's 3, chain 2. Over to the next one. double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, over to the next one. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, over to the corner, 3 double crochet here. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, chain 2. And I'm going to continue that pattern and I'll meet you at the end of this round. So I'm going to chain 2 here, 1, 2, and I am going to slip stitch in that third stitch there, come through. Okay. Round 6, round 7. So yeah, so once again, fasten off here, we're moving to a different color. So snip, pull that through, and weave in the yarn. 1, 2. Let's start just after a corner. Let's pull up a loop here and stitch it through. And let's start our 3 double crochets in here. Whoopsies, coming undone. These tails a little bit bigger. Okay, so hang on a minute. So I'm going to start just after a corner, put this through here. Slip knot, then I'm going to do 3 double crochets in here. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to chain 2 and then follow it all across the row. So 3 double crochet, chain 2 in each of these, then you've got the corner, which we've done before, and I'll see you at the end of the round. 3, chain 2, and we're at the start of this one here. 1, so 1, 2, 3, find that third V stitch right there, and then oops, right there, and then slip stitch through in there. Looking fabulous. All right, F-O. Put it through here and then weave in. So round 8, which is their round 7, please use a purple. So it says 29 double crochet, chain 2 4 times. Maybe I'm going to start just after a corner here. So just in this one there, just at the corner at the 3 double crochets, pull through, and I'm just going to secure it. So it is a double crochet in each of these stitches. Yarn over into this stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, double stitch into the next one, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over. So all you're doing is a double crochet in each of these. Okie dokie. So I've just come to the end of that row. Don't cut, don't fasten off at the end of this row. That looks really good. So yes, what did I end up doing was I did 3, like our usual corner pattern, 3 chain 2, 3, and then a stitch into every one of these stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 1 stitch in the middle, 1, 2, 3, 1 stitch, 1, 2, 3, 1 stitch, 1, 2, 3, 1 stitch, all the way to the end. And that is what it looks like. It's really good. So the last one is round 8. So we're still using the purple. Make 124 single crochet and then fasten off and then complete. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, it's coming around the corner. I'm just about to meet back to where I originally started. You can see that first stitch is right there. So slip stitch through. So that's it. We are done. The first thing that I notice here is the size of this granny square. It's really big. And I'm wondering if the referral of this 3 and this 4 is not to the millimeter hook, but it's just to their generic brand. So when I look at this 3 millimeter tulip, it is so much bigger than either of these. Oh no. It is about the size of the 4. So I would say that this is their 4, number 4 is equivalent to a 3 millimeter, and their number 3 is equivalent to the 2.5 millimeter, which is what they supplied with their coaster kit. So this is really interesting. So if you were to make, I wanted to go for the smaller size, but I ended up doing the bigger size, and that's okay. We'll see how I go. I might do another one for a size comparison, but I also might just go ahead and go with this. So this is my first done. My next step is to go away and do 11 more. And I wonder if I will change the colors or whether I keep them all the same. We'll see how I feel. But for now, this is my granny square for my scarf. Okay, I am back. And I just wanted to show you the difference in sizes, and the hook size that you use is really important. So this is the first one that I started off with. This is the 3 millimeter hook, and that's how big it was. And I thought, wow, that'll make a really big scarf. And I kind of wanted a smaller scarf. So I then moved down to the 2.5 millimeter. And you'll see what I did here is, so I took out the double crochet and just put the 2 single crochet around the edge. And I felt that that was enough for the kind of scarf I wanted. Obviously, I altered the pattern from what the instructions said, and because it's your scarf, you can do whatever you like. So I liked this smaller border. I also, but just to have a look at the different size, just the inside here, that is the difference between using a 3 millimeter and a 2.5 millimeter. So if that matters to you, then you can pay attention to that. And that's how I altered my scarf. So that's how all our scarves or all our productions, our creations will always be different, because you will always have your preference in your work. And art, I believe, gives you artistic license to change things as you go for yourself. And once you start doing it for yourself, you then have the confidence to start changing things in the world around you to make the world better for others when they don't know what they want. or so it seems when I work in with my family, when I work in community, and so on. So are you ready to see my scarf? Here it is. It is all done. So obviously it is not gonna, all of it is not gonna show in this screenshot, but that's it. So I ended up doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I didn't do 12. I thought that the middle one would be around your neck, and then you've got 5 on each side, and I felt that that was enough. I thought that adding this one and then another one would just be a bit too much. So I love how that turned out. And the other thing is, it was interesting making it. I ended up just changing the centers and changing out the colors, and part of the whole experience for me was the color choices. Like I realized what I was doing is I never wanted 2 squares to be the same. So the combination of color choices was such a thrill for me. I sat there with a pen and paper and I would just wrote out combinations, and I found that that was actually quite soothing. I think color theory is a massive emotional healing aspect to a lot of our work. And so I must point out that putting together the color combination was really satisfying. And then making it with my crochet and seeing it come to life, seeing each one come to life, getting down to the number that you want, watching the piece come together until I said, you know, this is enough now. I have enough for me. I obviously have a lot left over. And you can always make, I'm not sure if you can make 2 scarves with it. Obviously, the longer the scarf, the bigger the scarf, you need less. But I know for me, I feel like I have almost enough to do another one. But I don't want to do another one because I feel like the color combination here is not one that I would have chosen. I love it now that I've done it, but I wouldn't have chosen this. So now I have all these amazing colors that I could put into other projects, and I will. I know I will. Let me tell you a quick story. I wore this on my first day to the craft show on the weekend. And by the time I got to the craft show, I went to my first exhibitor and I asked her about crochet hooks. And she said, oh, have you been crocheting? I said, yes, I crocheted this scarf and this is the first time I'm wearing it. And I looked down and I wasn't wearing my scarf. And I was like, oh my God, where's my scarf? And looked around, looked in my bag, and it wasn't on me. And so I thought, oh my gosh, I lost my scarf on the first day that I wore it. And I thought, what am I gonna do? And I felt this really sense of like loss, like I made something, I was so proud of it, and I was kind of ready to share it with people who asked about it, and it wasn't there. So I headed back out to the stall, and the welcome stall where you got your tickets, and I said, listen, I've lost something. Can I put a description down so if anybody finds it, they can bring it in and you can pass it over to me. And they said, what have you lost? And I said, a scarf that I made, purple and yellow and pink. And the guy goes, let me see, abracadabra. And he pulls the scarf from underneath the desk. And I said, oh my gosh, that's my scarf. He said someone found it laying outside, obviously on the way from the train to the convention center or the craft show grounds. And he said someone brought it in, and I said, oh, thank goodness, there is still goodness in the world. So I am sending all my love to the person who found my handmade scarf and brought it back to me. So there you go, everybody. That was my experiment with buying this kit from Kmart, and I made my own scarf. And what are my conclusions? My conclusions is I want to make more clothing. I don't want to say if I want to make more scarves. I feel like I want to make more clothing. I want to make a beanie. I want to make fingerless gloves. I want to make a cardigan. So I feel like this has inspired me to go down the creation journey. And I'm so hopeful. Like, there is no way that I'm ever going to be bored ever in my life, because once I start something, I have one idea leads to 5 others, and then one idea from that leads to another 5 others. So I have so many ideas. I had to write them down, and I'm working through them, and I hope to share them with you. Really quickly, I went by Kmart the other day, and on clearance they had this. So I purchased this for $12 at Kmart. This was on clearance for $6. So of course I bought this. I would love to have this bag, wouldn't you? It's so awesome. And I've already started it. So this is what it looks like now. So my idea is, I think what I'm going to do is I may make all squares to be the same. We'll see. I could make them all different as well. That's okay too. So I'm already started on my next project. I probably won't do a video on this, but I will share the finished project, the bag, on social media. If you're joining me, please keep in touch and let me know what you think of it, how it turns out. And I will be back with the next idea that I have in terms of crochet, and I will share that with you. So thank you so much for joining me, everybody, and I will see you in my next video.